This is Greyshot 117 here. I do a terrible Tommy Wiseau impression, but James Franco, the Disaster Artist, does a great, I would dare say, award-winning performance as Tommy Wiseau, aka the director, writer, producer of
visionary mind
behind The Room, one of the best, worst movies ever made.
Yes, and that's the gift we are bestowing upon you for this holiday season. Yes, we are getting festive. We are in December, and what better gift to give all of you than a recommendation to go see a movie that was based on a movie that you gotta see it to believe how it was made. If you don't know how The Room was made, let me give you an idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a guy that you don't know how old he is.
Yep.
Don't know where he's from.
Yep.
Don't know. What was the other thing?
You don't know where he came from. You don't know his age, and we don't know where he makes his money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who has apparently bottomless pits of pockets.
Yep.
Decides to make a movie, and the movie.
Well, no. First, he wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
Then he decides Hollywood's against me, so I'm gonna make a movie to prove Hollywood wrong.
Yeah. Real quick on that whole note.
Yeah. So they make The Room with also his friend Greg Sestero, who is unfortunately both helped by Tommy Wiseau and hindered by Tommy Wiseau.
Here's why. The movie stars James Franco as Tommy Wiseau.
Yep.
And his brother as Greg.
Yep.
And Greg is
not brother, the friend.
Well, no, the brother of James Franco.
Dave Franco, yes.
Plays Greg in the movie.
Yes.
Sorry. He is not related to Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
He basically is an actor, but he's very skittish, very scared. But he has potential.
Yeah.
Tommy is fearless, but he sucks. And that's the best way to put it. He's not what people look for. People describe him as Frankenstein, a vampire.
Yep.
And, it very much seems like a reflection upon himself in many ways. Just with his mannerisms, his accent, which
I find funny because every time someone says you look like Frankenstein, it's like, you mean Frankenstein's monster.
That was the thing, though, during the time, because every person said Frankenstein. That was the shtick in late 90s, early 2000s. I remember that.
Yeah. But here's the thing as well that I find funny. He is Frankenstein.
He is.
The creator. He made The Room, the Frankenstein monster of this story. And, oh boy, it's not anything. And not even close to what he expected.
Plot synopsis, basically this is retelling of how the movie was made. From them meeting up to the point of the premiere. It's basically how this plot goes.
Yep.
And it has its ups, it has its downs, it has its bare-ass moments.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of cringe to this movie, but I mean, considering what it is based upon, The Room, which is again one of the
it's been a while since I've seen a scene where I literally was like, oh.
There's a moment. I mean, but they nail it so well. James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, however you pronounce his name, he is
perfect.
Again, he nails this
see
role.
The Room before this, because you may go into this be based on a true story, and you look at this guy there's no way this guy's like this. Yes. That is Tommy Wiseau. The mannerisms and all. That's exactly how he speaks, how he acts, and how he pretty much is everything around him. All the baggage he brings, James Franco just nails. And people are talking best actor. Or I don't know if Tommy Wiseau is the main star of this film or it's Greg, because they're both so close.
Greg's 55, Wiseau is 45.
Yeah.
Because Greg, I think, is the main plot
He's
point.
the heart.
He's the heart. He's the one that comes from the perspective of this film. He's the one that wrote the book that this thing is based off of, which is retelling. The thing is, Tommy is the plot.
Yeah.
Tommy is the conflict of this story. He's the thing that propels Greg to go chase his dream.
Yes.
He's the guy that helps him break through some of his own limitations and gives him, and how Greg and Wiseau go back and forth is very much less about what Greg does to Wiseau, but more so how what Wiseau does to Greg, giving him the confidence, giving him the opportunities, taking away some of the opportunities.
Yeah.
Giving him a reflection that he didn't previously see upon Rousseau.
Yeah.
And a new reflection.
By the way,
and all the actors are good. I will say that. Like both Francos do an admirable job.
Yeah.
And it's not one doesn't steal the spotlight. You understand why Greg does this. Like Rousseau seems kind of crazy. Like,
oh no, he's insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm pointing. I don't.
What I mean is,
Rousseau's crazy.
What I mean is, crazy in regards to you would never believe anything he said.
Oh yes, I would think this is a made-up character for a sitcom.
But it kind of makes sense. Like,
yes.
There's a moment where they're rehearsing it in a diner.
Yeah.
And the guy's just like, no, yell. And Rousseau is like, just yell, speak loud.
I like that because
and
it's
that
like
makes sense
you have to bust through it. Those parts I liked, but once you start to see like the darkness of Tommy, it's like, oh boy.
Also, the relationship of Tommy and Greg is very much a strange one. And you can almost see the reflections of that in the room itself, how it was made and the plot and such, which I think also Greg slightly realized as the movie was being made.
Yeah.
Because you kind of, as it's being made, you slowly delve deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're like, oh.
Can I just also point out the fact that there are so many actors and actresses in this film that make cameos. I want to say so
the biggest
here's
ones,
some of the
J.J. Abrams.
Bob Odenkirk, aka the Better Call Saul. You have Bryan Cranston, aka Walter White from Breaking Bad, although they make reference to
be fair,
Malcolm in the Middle.
To be fair, first off, let's say who actually shows up as themselves, which Bryan Cranston shows up in the movie.
Yes.
Then there's an opening sequence in regards to plenty of actors and like J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
And a whole bunch of other people that come up. They are like, they basically come up and they're like, hey, no one could have made this movie.
Yeah.
No, you give this person a million scripts and you would just get a shitty movie every time that no one would care about. Only Rousseau could have made this movie so memorable for being so
They make
bad.
a really good point. Like, this film came out in 2003, the original The Room.
Shot in standard
It's 14 years later, 14 years later. And this film is more popular, has more cult status, has made a ton of money, even though
has a $6 million
it has a $6 million budget. With on this film,
and
the disaster artist cost like 1.2, which I'm looking at, I'm like, are you serious? The Room cost more money to make than this remake?
I just also want to make note
or
that
retelling.
That's not adjusted for inflation.
Oh my god!
And I also want to make note that it's also understandable because there are moments of like, there are a few moments in regards to the money, which I'm an accountant, so that kind of stuff kind of attracted my attention the most.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment where he's like, I'd like to buy it all. He's like, what? HD or standard def?
Both.
And the guys are just like, this guy's crazy. You don't buy. And he's just like, we're a business. We're going to sell it. And he's like, deal. And you can use our studio. He's like, American discount. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, New Orleans. You're from there.
I don't believe
there's other note where
New Orleans.
Seth Rogen.
The Bayou.
Seth Rogen is basically in charge of camera work. He basically is like kind of like the behind the scenes director.
Seth Rogen is.
I don't know what I don't
like his limited screen time. He goddamn nails this.
Yeah, but there's a moment where he goes to the bank and he has a check. He's like, "There's no way this is passing.
There's no way.
No way." He gives the guy the check and he's like, "Oh, would you like 20s or 100s?" And he's just like, "It passed."
It passed.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah, it passed. He's like Seth is like, how much money? He's like, bottomless. and Seth's face just goes from, like, he's just like in shock and like, how is this idiot a millionaire? Like,
also, he makes his own toilet on set
that only he can use.
Only he can use director's toilet, and I'm just like, yeah, he would do something like that.
That sounds like
Oh my god! But no, like as much as you make fun of him, there's also a lot of times where again he's a dick. Like, honestly, he can be one of the worst people on set.
There's one scene in particular that is so uncomfortable that I was like, I wanted to dive into my chair.
Yeah.
Like, it was super uncomfortable. Also, the guy was buck naked, so that's also keep an eye
out
for that.
And it's played for laughs in the trailer, but you watch it, it's like, oh my god, this guy's a crazy person.
Yeah, when he wants to be a dick, he really is.
But again, everyone doesn't see his dream, and eventually his dream is The Room, and now he's one of the most well-known actors
he's
ever.
well known something, that's for sure.
Again, and they make a good point. What was the Academy Award winning film 10 years ago or in 2003?
I can't name it.
I can't name it. I can tell you around that time I watched movies like Oh God, like
2007?
No, 2003. Like, what was
Oh.
the Academy Award-winning film in 2003? I don't know.
I could take a guess in 1993, which would be Jurassic Park.
No,
Wasn't? No. Oh.
but what I'm saying is I don't know.
Yeah,
But I know The Room.
That's the thing. It's like you remember certain movies because they leave an impact. Like Star Wars. People can name Star Wars all the
Which
time.
they talk about the Phantom Menace, and it's
yeah,
like too much action, not enough character development. And I'm just like, wow, that's a Hollywood guy
being honest.
being honest, yeah.
But there's also like I can think of like from my own personal like Jurassic Park, Forrest Gump, even like Godzilla. Like these movies stick with you. That doesn't mean they're all good. Some of them are fantastic. Like Forrest Gump is like a movie I will sit down and watch anytime.
But Tremors is a cult classic. That's just it's the perfect B movie. And again, it's also another time where like Kevin Bacon's like, I'm making a movie with giant worms. This is the end of my career, and it helped lift his career. So in a way,
just fun.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's
The Room. It's fun. It's an entertaining film, and the disaster artist capitalizes on that, and you understand both Greg and Tommy's like visions and sides, and also Tommy not wanting to let go of Greg because they're best friends. So yeah,
and it's really weird, the relationship, but it's also like, again, Tommy being weird. Like there's a moment where he's driving around this block multiple times waiting for more people. He's just like, is this guy normally like? There's what does Seth Rogen say? It's like,
oh boy,
there's a moment. It's like, this is weird. It's like, okay, let's be honest now. If he wasn't doing something weird, that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah,
and it works.
Yes,
it really does. So in regards to this movie, again, there really are no spoilers that we can say. Like, we make these little quips, but it's based on.
Check out the book, check out the movie, and if you have not, get a drink and check out The Room with friends.
Oh yeah, get a few drinks.
You'll be laughing. But again, if I had to give a final verdict for this film, there will be no spoilers because there isn't really anything to spoil. We're going to give this film an 8 out of 10. I might do a small spoiler thing, but I would say probably an 8 out of 10, and not because it's any bad acting or nitpicking. My stance is just like, I wish they would have delved a little deeper
into the filmmaking.
Yeah, a little bit more. And the first act is a little bit slow, but and I actually kind of wish you saw a little more toward the end. Yeah. But overall, Dave Franco and James Franco, both as Tommy and Greg, were fantastic, and I really, really, really hope they get nominated for something at the awards, whether it's best comedy
again,
at the Globes or something.
I've been making this joke, but if Tommy Wiseau, James Franco wins the best actor as Tommy Wiseau, could you imagine that?
But
can you imagine? Yes. Someone makes the worst movie.
But they nailed it
of all time.
They nailed it.
The worst.
Yes.
In regards to people actually, it's a movie so bad it's good. Like the worst in that regard. It is the pinnacle. And you were considered, like, no offense, a laughingstock. Like, your shitty performance is the bedrock of a Best Actor nomination, or even, like, to get a nomination. Yeah. Like, I guarantee Tommy Wiseau's like, this is how I'm making it. Yeah. Again, everyone in Hollywood said, you can't make it going the normal way. Yeah. And they were right. So he did it his own way.
That being said, if there were 100 of these films that came out, if you had Hollywood just making this, then
it wouldn't be special. Yeah. But it is special because Hollywood knows how to make something good.
Also, it's the amount of money this guy put behind it is also the reason why
I think he made his money back. He's a long-term investor. He knew he'd make a movie so bad that it'd be good, and he'd rake in the profits.
$6 million.
How else do you explain this guy being a millionaire? How?
I have no idea where this guy gets his money. Like, spoiler alert, I think he's a drug dealer. Or a hitman from the goddamn, I don't know. He looks like an Eastern European villain.
Apparently they think in regards to he's an Eastern European that grew up in France that came to the United States. I would love to, like, could you imagine the money?
What accent?
Could you imagine how much money people would make to hack into, like, the United States government just to get Tommy Wiseau's, like, information
I want his tax
for his,
returns.
like, past report? No, not his tax return.
Yeah, because I want to know how much money he spends.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would give me an estimate of, like, okay, how much is this guy?
I would want his tax return for, like, 2003, 2002.
Yeah.
The information I would want is the background information you get for a fucking passport.
I just want
I want to know... I want to know how he got a driver's license. I want to know how he got a passport. I want to know what he put. I want to know what
they
this
never.
guy
By the way,
put.
the reason why I said spoilers, they never go into where he came from.
No one knows.
And
people have ideas, and people have like
Yes.
they've locked down certain things.
But again, it's just so crazy. But it makes for an entertaining film,
Yep.
a joy. There is some depth and some
Weight.
some great weight to this.
Especially the mom.
Yeah, and then especially on the other side, it's just some great comedy. Like, and you'll be, even through all the darkness, through everything you get through, that final moment with them in the theater is like the best kind of like showing of, yeah, it's not good, but they made something
unique.
special.
It's you.
Yeah.
And you did something no one else could.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our review of The Disaster Artist.
Oh boy.
Which should be the start of a fantastic final month in regards to we are getting the
Look,
next movie we are seeing.
We saw Coco, that was great.
Yep.
We saw this, that was great. You know what we're seeing next?
Shape of Water.
And I'm very excited for that.
And I'm not going to lie, after Shape of Water, we got Star Wars. Like, this month is just so good with movies. We don't have to sit through a Justice League. We just get all the good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, we'll see you with The Shape of Water.
We'll see you all next time. Right.
Please, just don't. This is why you're not an actor. This is why people just like your reactions and your commentaries. Please, no more.
Before this video ends, I want to once again give a shout out to special Patreon supporters Ace, Sean, Carter, Leo, Tim, and Nick. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You guys can support me as well by hitting that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.